what's up this morning, this afternoon? I don't know where y'all are at, but what's up today, everyone? Welcome. Fine Tuesday to you all, and happy early stream day and Commander Masters spoiler kickoff day to y'all. Good to see you. What is up, Dylan Hunter, Labrador, Darks, Days, Terror's Grid, Cabal Pet? How is everyone doing today? When is the stream? So the plan for today's stream is a little bit different. It is currently 11:30 my time. In 1.5 hours, we will have the stream for the kickoff of Commander Masters. So the idea is we're gonna play some Magic, maybe do a little mono black one ring Orcish Bowmasters combo devotioning, talk about anthologies and so forth, and then in 1.5 hours we will turn on the WotC stream, check out the Commander Masters spoilers, see what this set is all about, and then I'll probably have to do a spoiler video for YouTube. Hey, what's up, Callie? How are you? Good to see you. Hopefully everyone had an amazing weekend. It is in. Wait, no, it's at 1, isn't it? No. Hang on, let me go. Wait a minute. I'm pretty sure, hang on, let me double check this. I'm pretty sure it's at 1. I'm pretty sure it's in an hour and a half. They tweeted, let me see, I can pull up Twitter here. I know I retweeted WotC tweeting about this. In 10 a.m. Pacific. Yeah, so 10 a.m. Pacific is 1 p.m. my time, Eastern time. So it's in 1.5 hours. Usually it's at noon, but for some reason when they do the spoiler kickoffs, they push it back an hour. So it is 1.5 hours from now for spoilers, which is good because it gives us some time to actually play a little bit of Magic. Is Bowmasters rocking Modern and Legacy? I mean, it's very good. I tried to build this Legends deck. Actually, a modern version, Krim just played a White Tree Legends deck in Historic on the YouTube. I tried to build like a modern version of that. That's one of the decks I was hyped about. And Orcish Bowmasters just wrecks it. You're trying to play all these like 2/1s and then play White Tree, and yeah, so Orcish Bowmasters is really good. The One Ring is even more dominant. Like, that's the card that's really dominating formats. But how is everyone today? So let's do our reminders. We have stuff to talk about too. So on the list for today, play Magic, Commander Masters spoilers, anthologies, Wizards. Oh, did you see the anthologies? Do you want the good news or the bad news first, chat? What are you in the mood for? Are you in the mood for some positivity or negativity first thing in the morning for our early stream? I'm curious which there's good news and bad news when it comes to these anthologies. You want to start with the bad news? All right, let's start with the bad news then. The bad news is so you probably know there's 2 new anthologies coming to Arena. Explore Anthology 3, Historic Anthology 7. I think that Explore Anthology 3 is probably the worst anthology Wizards has ever made. Like, so I don't know what they're doing. It's almost like Wizards is intentionally, willfully trying to avoid adding Pioneer to Arena. At this point, like, that's the only thing that makes sense, right? Wizards has a lot of smart people. They have a lot of smart people. There's a lot of data on what cards you need to actually have Pioneer come to Arena. The only thing that makes sense to me is Wizards is intentionally trying not to put Pioneer on Arena in a timely manner. Like, that's the only thing that makes any amount of sense. Dogamith, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big subscription for you. Thank you. So this is the new Explorer Anthology. If you look at this list of cards, it's almost laughable. We get the BFC lands, which, sure, whatever, add all the land cycles, people play them in Historic Brawl, but it's not a land cycle that sees Pioneer play, really. The blue-white one, at some points, have seen play in blue-white control because of laydown arms, because you want as many planes as possible, but really, this cycle doesn't really see play. The most played cards in Pioneer are Thespian Stage and Sylvan Scrying. The thing is, Thespian Stage and Sylvan Scrying are part of the Lotus Field combo deck, or actually the Hidden Stirrings combo deck is what it actually is. The issue is, you don't have Hidden Stirring, so you can't actually build a combo deck. So they added the two of the important pieces to this combo deck, but the rest of the pieces don't exist. So these cards, until they add more pieces, don't actually really do anything. I'll play it in Historic Brawl. I like Thespian Stage, but it doesn't do anything for Explorer to turn it into Pioneer. They added, okay, good news, World Spineworm Xenagos. That is a finisher for Indomitable Creativity. However, there is bad news. The bad news is that was the hot version of creativity like 6 months ago. Now most people are creativitying into Torrential Gearhulk and winning that way, or creativitying into Atraxa and winning that way. So this is like the third most popular build of Indomitable Creativity. As far as cards that are just generically good, I'm excited for Court of Calling. That's a good addition that we'll see play. I'm excited for Voice of Resurgence. The Elemental synergies, Control Hate, Sacrifice synergies, like that's a good card that we needed added to the format. Deathrite Shaman, I'm glad it's on Arena, but without fetch lands, it doesn't see much play in Pioneer. Obsidat's a card I like, but most of the shenanigans aren't there. There's no Goryo's Vengeance to do any of those shenanigans. So this Anthology is like really just questionable. Like, a ton of slots are wasted on these lands that don't see play. The Charm Cycle, but they didn't include, like, Boros Charm, which is probably the best of the charms, or the one that I think would see the most play. So I'm really not sure what they're doing. Like, there is good Historic Brawl stuff, although the good Historic Brawl stuff is like Cyclonic Rift, which most people are salty about. I don't know if people are even hyped for that. And then, of course, way down here at the bottom, this is the card that really got everyone riled up. A Quarter's Shield. A Quarter Shield. 0 mana equipment. 3 to equip. Gives equip creature +0/+0 and Vigilance. It is a card that has seen play in Modern in the past with Pure Steel Paladin combos, like Cheerio combos. I don't think the pieces exist to make those work on Arena. So I think, all things considered, I think it's pretty safe to say this is maybe the weakest Anthology that Wizards has ever made. Like, am I missing something? Is my opinion on this wrong in some way? Am I missing something that makes this better than it looks? For me, I can't imagine buying this from the store. There are cards I'll pick up with wild cards. Like, I'll need Voice, I'll need Court of Calling, maybe the creativity stuff, some stuff for Historic Brawl. Like, I need a Cyclonic Rift for Historic Brawl, maybe Izzet Charm's not bad. But it's hard for me to imagine actually picking this up from the store. Hey, what's up, Stone Rain? How are you? There is good news, though. There is good news. The good news is, and maybe this just shows how Wizards thinks of these formats differently, there's also Historic Anthology 7, and Historic Anthology 7 is actually really good, like, kind of surprisingly good. Historic Anthology 7 has a really good land cycle. The Horizon lands, as he play all the way back to Legacy, like, really, really good. Sword of Fire and Ice actually is one of the most played swords that sees play. So Warren Power Stone, Wayfarer's Bauble, those are more for Brawl, but still they're like fine Brawl cards. Bloodbraid Elf still sees some play. The entire Titan cycle, we'll see how good it is in 2023, but they're iconic. Vendilion Click still sees modern play. Giver of Runes, modern staple. Bloodghast, modern staple. Unearth is a very strong card. Tribal Flame sees play in Modern. Wild Mikado still sees Fringe play in Modern. Like, this is as good as the Explorer one is bad. Like, I'm actually kind of surprised. So I think this one is actually worth picking up from the store. Like, if you're someone who plays Historic or Historic Brawl, I think it's probably worth getting from the store. So it's really amazing. Yeah, Slime. I love Slime. Some of the best land destruction that we have on Arena now. Gonna be good. We gotta try Gruul land destruction again now that we have Slime. Also, Inferno Titan's good in land destruction. Like, that's a pretty good finisher in a land destruction deck. So there's still some oddballs, like, why Mortipod? Why Echoing Decay? Like, why did you add those? But still, overall, it's a really strong Anthology. So one Anthology kind of like super good, the other one kind of super bad. Do you think that Primetime's gonna be broken in Historic Brawl? I feel like Primetime is going to be a staple. Like, if you were playing green in Historic Brawl, why would you not play Primeval Titan? I don't know if it'll be broken, but it's going to be good. Do you get it? Yes, you do get a playset if you buy the Anthology from the store. So I guess if you're using it for Brawl, it's less necessary because a playset's not going to help you. Lucid, how are you for the 39th month? Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big scoop for you. Reminders, Replay YouTube. That's where you can find all the old streams, including this from the future. Normal YouTube. Tons of stuff going up on the normal YouTube. So many sweet Lord of the Rings theme decks. We also had a video about the most hated cards of every year in Magic, so if you haven't seen those, check them out on the YouTube. Tomorrow we're throwing massive orcs at our opponent's face for against the odds, doing some Fall of Care Androsing. A reminder that our sponsor today is Card Kingdom, and if you need some magical cards, you can get them over at cardkingdom.com/mtggoldfish. You can even pre-order Commander Masters already, or get a Despotic Scepter for some reason. I don't know why you want a Despotic Scepter, but maybe you want to bury your own permanents. You never know. You can get them over at cardkingdom.com/mtggoldfish. Hey, Raiders. Wow, big raid. Anthology Magic. We're just starting off. Good to see you. Thank you so much for the raid. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hopefully you had a wonderful stream. Otherwise, merch page, token, teachers, playmats, good way to support the stream and the channel and the site. Donations always appreciated, never required. $2 more gets your message right on stream. So what are we playing as we wait for Commander Master spoilers? We are playing one of my favorite archetypes. I love Mono Black Devotion. One of my all-time favorites. We got our Gary. Gary is just it will always be a nostalgic card for me. It's just such a it's such a cool common. I guess it's an uncommon now, but it's just such a sweet common finisher. So the goal of this deck, we're doing mono Black Devotion stuff, which obviously Nykthos, make a bunch of mana, cast big things. But what makes this deck unique is we're kind of a combo deck almost. So we have Peer into the Abyss to make our opponent draw a bunch of cards, which we can tutor up with Wishclaw Talisman. Orcish Bowmasters just makes our opponent die and amasses a huge army. So that's one of the neat synergies of this deck that we didn't have before. We also are a One Ring deck because the One Ring's busted. The One Ring, really sweet with Shieldred, gains us a ridiculous amount of life, also sets us up for the Grey Merchant. We got Underworld Dreams as another combo piece. So basically, play the sweet cards with a lot of black pips, draw a ton of cards with the One Ring, eventually tutor up Peer into the Abyss, combo kill out of the blue to close out the game. So that's what we're gonna mess around with. Yeah, I don't know how good it is, but I do love playing Mono Black Devotion. When Sass says the announcements, I swear he makes it all one word sometimes. Yeah, I probably should breathe more. That's probably a good idea. I will also say, I don't know what you think of this. When is Anthology's release? I believe Thursday? Maybe it's the beginning of next week, actually. I want to say the 18th, so I think it might be a week from today. I can't believe I'm saying this, but... Oh yeah, Shielder, it's like ridiculous with the One Ring. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I've actually kind of been enjoying Best of One lately. Is that sacrilege? Is that heresy? Am I gonna get stoned? Is this a bad thing to say? Hey, thank you, Anthology. Enjoy your teaching. Thanks for the raid. Definitely appreciate it. I've actually kind of been enjoying. So here's what I've realized about Best of One. I've come to realize that I think it's actually really good for content, if that makes sense. So I would never want Best of One to be a tournament format. No. It is a disaster. We've already tried that. But I realized for content, I think it's actually better because you get to see a lot more decks a lot quicker. Like, when you play best of 3, in recent Standard is a pretty good example of this. When you play best of 3, there's a lot of like hour-long matches. If your match goes 3 games, it's like 45 minutes long. So it's like this really long grindy thing, and you're seeing the same cards and the same sideboarding, the same plan. In best of 1, you actually like are having this constantly changing set of matchups. Like, you're seeing different decks all the time. So I've actually come to think that maybe, just maybe, it's actually just better for content. Not that I'm going to switch to making only best of 1 content, but we might see more best of 1 content because I've actually been enjoying it, surprisingly. Oh no. Oh no. All right. Well, you don't really want to be the first one to play the Bowmasters. That's awkward. You know what? Let's Underworld Dreams. Opponent. Draw some cards, Fred. One of the things I like about this deck, too, is our deck is really good against the One Ring. Like, Underworld Dreams Rex One Ring, Bowmasters Rex One Ring, Shoulder Rex One Ring. So we're kind of like almost a hate deck for one of the most popular cards in the format. Spoilers happen at 1... Oh, God. Oh, God. Okay. Well, are we dead? Opponent gonna snipe our dork. Yeah, this is... not ideal. Not ideal. I mean, at least Yogg can't go infinite in this format, but that's still not ideal. Well, playing Nykthos. Yeah, I mean, I guess we just gotta kill the Yogg. Alright, opponent. Wow, they just let it go. Okay. Okay, game on. Game on. They did not sack their board. They must have another one. Opponent. Oh, do you think Tomer like this? Like, hey, Joopy, let me see. Also, that's a good reminder. We're doing a viewer-submitted Commander Clash next week. There is a post up on the Commander YouTube talking about asking for deck submission. So if you'd like, Oh boy. All right. Hey, it's another young myth. If you... Oh, it's a Shieldred, okay. If you would like your deck considered for viewer submitted Commander Clash, please submit a deck list, just like Jupy did. All right, kill the Shieldred, draw a card. It's a Bowmasters. Little light on mana. Nethroi Aristocrats mutate with Yumori. Ooh, that is certainly a spicy plan. I do think Tomer might like that. He does like Nethroi in those huge reanimation spells, and that's a spicy take on it. All creatures, yeah, that's a really cool deck. You definitely should submit it. Yeah, I think Anthology said they had to go teach. Boy, we're gonna die with 3 Gray Merchants in hand, but no ability to cast our Gray Merchants. All right, well, I guess we gotta pass a Bowmasters. That's the only real option here about it. If we could draw lands for these Garys, we'd be in spectacular shape. Deadly Dispute, sacks a treasure to draw some cards. Well, I guess we do this now. Make our opponent have the removal. Kill the Bowmasters. Whoa! No removal. No removal. Okay. Ping a... Wait, we should have 2 triggers, right? Yes. Ping a delighted halfling. Wow, Bowmasters is so good. It's so good. Okay, we're not dead yet. Underworld Dreams, pings ya. Oh, if we untap with chill with the Bowmasters. If we could only play a Gary, we probably win. Spoiler stream 1 Eastern time. Young Wolf. Average Fox and a Young Wolf. Wait, you don't have a Yogg, do you? If they have Yogg, we're... What I would give to draw a Source of Manas. Well, let's play a Murderous Rider. I mean, somehow we're still in this game, which is kind of impressive considering if our opponent draws a Yogg, though, we get so wrecked. Opponent down to 8. Hold. No Yogg. Prosperous Innkeeper. Okay, as long as it's not a Yogg, that's fine. And the One Ring. Well, okay, that's kind of an issue. Kill the Bowmaster. Each opponent... Oh, Gary works. Gary works through the One Ring. It works through the One Ring. It doesn't care. Oh, it doesn't care. It does not care. Protection from everything except Great Merchant of Asphodel. Got him! Opponent, would you like to activate your One Ring? Would you like to activate your One Ring? Wait, is Gary just the solution to the One Ring? Oh, so early. What time is it? It is almost noon. It is 10 before noon. We're early today because we have a spoiler stream in an hour. Commander Masters spoilers. Speaking of Commander Masters, I know Vince Pleasant Kenobi did a video on this, which is worth checking out. The prices are kind of insane. Like, the prices are kind of over the top, really scary, insane. Like, I'm a little nervous. I'm a little nervous about what the future of Magic looks like based on these prices. Like, look at these prices. This is Amazon. This is Amazon prices. So 4-pack collector booster box, $250. So you're paying what, 60 something, $62 a pack, something like that. $62 for a single collector booster pack. Commander precons, all 4 decks, just under $400, $375. So you're paying $90 a piece roughly. Set boosters, 24 packs of set boosters, 437 draft boosters. $400. That's the thing that gets me. So I know last time we had a Masters set, my take was, that was a master set where they had $100 booster packs. You could get the $100, I don't think they called them collector boosters, VIP boosters. They had the $100 VIP boosters, and a lot of people complained about that. And my take was, it really doesn't matter. It's not worth complaining about. As long as the reprints are good, if they want to sell $100 collector boosters, that is fine. What is different this time, in my opinion, is all the product is ridiculously expensive. Like, Commander Masters draft boosters are ridiculous. That's so much money. That's like not quite, but almost $20 a pack, like $17 a pack or something for draft boosters. Set boosters is roughly $20 a pack. That's so much. So I think for me, this set is pick up a Commander Precon if there's one that you want. My expectation is, even though the Commander Precons are more expensive than most, I think it'll be worth it. I think they're really gonna juice them. Like, I think we should expect these Precons to be some of the best Precons of the year. On the other hand, I guess you just hope for good reprints and pick up singles. Like, I love opening boxes. Love it, love it, love it. One of my favorite things to do, and yes, Yog's gonna be an issue. And I don't think I can open a box of this set. Like, I don't think I can do it. And I'm lucky. I make Magic content for a living. There's no way, though. I just can't do it. 4-year resub Alex Mateo for the 48th month. 4 years I've made it. Also, Seth was listening to the Commander podcast, and I think there's a problem at the end. It cuts off. Oh no. Ooh, all right. I will look into that after the stream. I don't think I can look into it why I'm streaming, but after the stream, I will definitely look into it. Thank you for the heads up. Any reason this list isn't running a copy of Technuma? Is it not running a copy of Technuma? It should be running a copy of Technuma. I guess I just assumed that it was. How is Gen Con? Should I at some point, is that like a thing I have to do? Is it like you're not truly part of nerd culture and so you go to Gen Con? Is that like the pilgrimage? I've never done Gen Con. How much Magic stuff? About an hour until the spoiler stream. Sandor Chorus, 1 Eastern time, so just over an hour. Sandor Chorus, welcome to the Fish Bowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big soup here for you. Thank you. Hey, what's up, you and Leaf? How are you? Ooh. How do we trigger Revolt to get rid of this Yawgmoth? That is the question. Well, let's start with the One Ring. The very, very busted One Ring. Wishclaw Talisman. That's interesting. Okay, so how do we kill Yogg? Because we could just get comboed. That's the problem. Well, let's get him a Gifted Aetherborn. See if our opponent chooses to... Would you like to block our Gifted Aetherborn opponent? Yes. Okay, thank you. Thank you, opponent. Okay, that's good news. So we can kill the Yogg. Do we play Shieldred first is the question. Probably. So if we play Shieldred first, they can sack stuff to shrink Shieldred, but they're going to take a lot of damage for activating Yogg. All right, let's play Shieldred. Opponent, and then Fatal Push your Yogg. All right, opponent, the choice is yours. I mean, it's still missing some combo pieces, right? I think it's missing finishers is the biggest thing Yogg is missing. Hey, what's up, motherfrogger? Yeah, early stream because of spoilers. New spoiler season has arrived. It's missing Gris. Ooh, opponent Shieldred versus Shieldred. Okay. Well, we will. All right, let's draw. I mean, with us each having a Shieldred, this is kind of fine. Draw. Lose a bunch of life, gain a bunch of life. Play a land. Languish. And then Wishclaw. I mean, we're getting pretty close to being able to combo kill here. Pass the turn. Sheoldred's battling it out. Abundant. No Strangleroot, no Geralf's Messenger, no Grist. I mean, I guess you need a Blood Artist, right? But maybe that's still fine. Like, with Court of Calling and Eldritch Evolution, kind of feel like we're supposed to block here since we have another Sheoldred. I mean, we win this game if it keeps going, right? Because we have... Okay, opponent also has another Sheoldred. If the game keeps going, we win because we have the One Ring, and the One Ring is a ridiculously broken Magic card. So we will play a Sheoldred. Activate the One Ring. Lose a bunch of life, gain a bunch of life. We don't... Wait, do we kill ourselves? Oh, not quite. Play a land and kill the like, the One Ring is so unfair. Like, look at this game. Look at what happens when one player has the One Ring and the other one doesn't. Like, it's like we're playing a different game. Like, opponent has 2 cards in hand. They're trying to, like, piece it together. We drew a single card that is winning us the game. So we don't get to order the triggers. It works based on active player or non-active player. So if it's your turn, your opponent's triggers are going to resolve first. If it's your opponent's turn, your triggers are going to resolve first. You know, I think we're just going to go for the combo kill. Ooh, Underworld Dreams. We don't have a Nick, though. You know what? Let's draw some cards. Let's see. If we draw a Nick, though, so we can definitely go for the combo kill. All right, no. This is so ridiculous. No Nick, those. The thing is, if they kill Sheoldred, it fizzles. What do you think, chat? Do we go for the combo kill, even though we could just lose as a result? Is it worth it? I don't know how we lose if we don't go for it, but it is funny. Yeah, but we need to tutor for Peer into the Abyss is the issue. Well, let's get in with Sheoldred. If we wait one more turn, we definitely can do it. The problem is if they kill Sheoldred in response to the Peer into the Abyss, then we just let them draw most of their deck, and that's not optimal. Not optimal. Let's play an Underworld Dreams in case our opponent was considering drawing cards. And then play a murder. We're going to wait. We'll just wait one more turn. Play a Murderous Rider as a creature. Pass the turn. I guess we could also just win with Gary. Take Numa. Commander Legends spoilers start in roughly 1 hour from now. There's a WotC stream that we will watch together, showing off the cards. Oh, these string of letters. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big scoop share for you. Thank you. Oh, did you see that? Did you see the Bertoncini thing? Oh my goodness, that was. Did you see the Bertoncini rap? A plethora of moose. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big scoop cheer for you. Thank you. How about a Orcish Bowmasters to ping your plant? You know what? We're gonna go for it. We are gonna go for it. Boom. We take a ton. We draw a Murderous Rider. Trigger. Well, let's Wishclaw Talisman. This is going to be interesting. Wishclaw Talisman. Tutor up our Will Arena withstand this? Peer into the Abyss. Target you. Yes, we are sure. Opponent. How about drawing half of your deck? Oh, they didn't even sit through it. Gary's one of my favorite cards in Magic, too. The Pioneer Anthology was it's bad. It's bad. It's bad. The historic one's really good. I think the historic one's really solid. So, chat, do you think Wizards wants to bring Pioneer to Arena? Like, are they trying to avoid it? That's the only thing that makes sense to me, is they're like intentionally trying to avoid it. Ooh, Black Devotion, Best Devotion, Devotion tier list. So Green Devotion would be at the bottom. I know that. Is Black number 1? Red is cool. So green is green is the most powerful, but it's so played out at this point, to the point where if they ban Mono Green Devotion, I would be fine with that. I would be happy about it. So Green Devotion is the worst as far as how interesting and fun the deck is. Black is really fun. I find red to be really fun. Actually, I like every single color of Devotion except for green, come to think of it. Like, Mono Black Devotion's cool, Mono Red Devotion's really cool, Mono White Devotion is relatively cool, Mono Blue Devotion draws the most cards. Purplesaurus Rex, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big subscription for you, thank you. Nothing could be worse than the previous historic anthology. Really? Wait, let me see. I wonder if there's a list. Oh, there is a list. Okay. There is actually a list. Wait. Wait, the first historic anthology, Kinsbale Cavalier, horrible. Sarah Ascendant Soul Warden. Those are some of the most iconic cards on Arena. Arena players love their life gain. Distant Melody, blah. Treasure Hunt, good meme card. Actually, that's a pretty solid anthology. What was the last one? Historic Anthology 6. Okay, so I guess we should do this for our opponent's sake. Historic Anthology 6. So, Avacyn, Brawl card. Artifact lands, 10 of them. Yeah, I remember that now. 10 artifact lands is pretty bad. Metamorph, mostly a Brawl card. Ephidomancer, mostly a Brawl. Goshintai of Life's Origins, that's a sweet one. Goyf, there was a Goyf. Chalice, we played a good Chalice deck. It's so bad in Historic, but we did play it. Glimpse has seen some, yeah, all right. Half of the cards being dedicated to the artifact lands is pretty bad. I will give it that. Like, that's actually pretty jank. Oh god. Oh god. Archmage's Charm to Fairy. We have a handful of... Well, I guess we're going for the One Ring. Our way to possibly win this game, I think, is somehow resolve the One Ring. Whether or not we can actually make that happen is another question. I mean, I guess Bowmasters could be good if it lives, which I'm not really expecting. Oh, did you draw a counter, opponent? Did you draw a counter? Reprieve. Well, play the land, pass the turn. If we can get down the One Ring, we got a shot, because the One Ring's ridiculous. Opponent. I would love for Arena to focus on bringing every card to Arena at this point. I think the player base would double if we had Pioneer, Pauper, Modern, even Legacy. I mean, that's the thing. So as I complain about the Explorer Anthology, it's also true that I think that any new cards being added to Arena is a positive. So that's good news. I will take it all. I will take a Quarter Shield. I want a Quarter Shield added to Arena. I would prefer Wizards to focus on the cards we need to make Explorer into Pioneer first. Like, I think that's the order that they should be doing it in. All right, we get a One Ring. I think that's the order they should be doing it in, but I'm not going to complain about any cards being added. Like, any card being added. I mean, that is, you're right, Dylan Hunter. That is 2023 Magic at the moment. I honestly think this card's, I'm coming around to the idea that it's going to end up being banned. Oh, they're going to Divine Purge our Bowmasters? That doesn't seem that good. And Soul, okay. Well, Field of Ruin. We can't replay the One Ring. We have multiple dead Fatal Pushes. Well, I mean, I think we just pass and flash in Bowmasters. That's probably our... Should we just do it now? Maybe we just do it now. I would definitely replay the One Ring if we could. We need more hate cards, right? I want to see... Hey, Ghost of Deck Faded! Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big soup to your favorite. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, I guess we actually do it now while they're tapped out. All right, boom. Take that, opponent. I don't mind historic anthologies having more cards and aren't great. For 60-card formats, as long as Explorer anthologies felt like they were actually aiming at Pioneer. I think that's exactly right. That's how I feel. Like, add everything you want to. The problem is the whole point of this Explorer format is to get to Pioneer, and it just doesn't seem like we're making strides towards that in the way that most players, including myself, would want them to. Opponent gonna untap some lands. Murderous Rider. Okay. Oh, I feel like this might be slipping away a little bit. Oh, I would like Panglacial Worm. I would like that too, although I think that it's probably way off. Do they even have a mechanic for that? It seems like things that have unique mechanics are the things that they add the slowest. So we could fire up the land and try to kill Teferi that way. We can attack Teferi. We also have the Murderous Rider. All right, let's go to combat. Let's attack Teferi. See what our opponent does. We need to kill the Teferi. That's step 1. And also 2. And maybe 3. Like, we really gotta get that off the battlefield. Alright. Well, in that case, we'll just kill the Teferi. Opponent does something with this card that has so much text it doesn't even fit on it. Taps down a creature. Sure. Gets pinged. Well, hit you with the Bowmasters. I guess we'll play the Wish Claw. That could be valuable at some point. Wouldn't Delve be not hard to put in Arena since Escape is already present? You would think so, right? It seems like they should be able to. The UI might be an issue. Like, how do you actually present it on screen?
We need to move quickly.
But it seems like it should be doable. That's certainly one of the biggest things we're missing. Opponent untaps. We draw 8 land. We'll play the land. I mean, we got to go after Teferi again. Go to combat. Opponent. Archmage's Charm. Okay. I think this works, though. So we get to fire up Hive of the Eye Tyrant. We are going to have to kill our own Amass, which is awkward, but... yeah, kill our own Amass. Fizzle it. Alright, we have slogged through 2 Teferis. And we get to eat a Memory Deluge, which is sweet. Alright, I mean... considering our opponents played 2 Teferis, this isn't going that bad. I discard a card which taps your card and then draws a card and then makes a card somewhere in my deck one of your cards. That's basically it. I will say I've actually been... I think getting rid of Teferi is more important than getting down the One Ring, actually. It's just so risky to let Teferi stick on the battlefield. It's very easy for the game to snowball in a really poor direction from that point on. Well, go to combat. Opponent. Bounces the Bowmaster. Well, let's play Gifted Etherborn. Wait, no, that stacks? This is 6. Opponent's gonna draw a couple cards. Wait. Oh, is Perpetually... I hate Perpetually such a weird mechanic. We have a new donation from Motherfogger, $5 donation. Hey Seth, today's my birthday and I can't think of a better way to spend it. I have a Decon Blackblade deck. I'm thinking of sending to Crim for the next viewer submitted week. Do you think he'll like it? Ooh, well, thank you for the donation, Motherfogger, and a happy birthday. And I'll pull up the deck list. Actually, reminder, viewer submitted week happening next week. So if you got decks for viewer submitted week, submit them because the time has come. Well, go to combat. Attack ya. Opponent. Would you like to settle our wreckage? Really? Really? Okay. Sure. I mean, we will do this. Opponent's gonna float a mana. This One Ring is so expensive. It's so expensive. Thank you for the donation, by the way, Motherfrogger. Oh, and the Ghost of Dak Faden. I don't know if I shouted this out, but welcome to the Fish Bowl. Thank you so much for yours. Was that a strip mine? Thank you so much for your subscription. Big scoops here for you. Thank you. Opponent. Island and Divine Purge. Opponent's like a stacks deck almost. Major Killjoy. Welcome to the Fish Bowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big scoops here for you. Thank you. I mean, I think we're somehow kind of winning this still-ish. About it. Can you kill our Sheoldred? Down to 4. Well, play the land. What is even happening? Opponent's at 4. We have 7 mana. They're gonna counter the One Ring, right? Bowmasters is probably our best play, honestly. I think Bowmasters is the best play. Where do I submit decks? So you can always email me decks, saffronolive@mtggoldfish.com. If you go to the Commander YouTube, there's also okay. If you go to the Commander YouTube, there's also a post in the community tab where people are leaving deck lists, so that's another good place. Opponent. Wow, what a grindy weird control match. Viewer battles coming up at some point. There's not another viewer battle stream on the schedule yet, but we will do another one before Super Log. I expect it'll probably be at least a couple weeks, but we will. We're gonna find out. Is 6 mana Bowmaster still good? Wow, cycles. Calum. Christoph, welcome to the Fish Bowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super cheer for you. Thank you. How do you feel about a 6 mana tap Bowmasters opponent? Alright, resolves. Ping ya to 1. Wow! And our opponent scoops it up. The control deck can't even keep up with us. Let's see this deck, Motherfrogger. Esper Mono Green. Ooh. I love seeing old janky Legends commanders actually see play. Ooh, so his idea to be an Esper land ramp deck? It kind of looks like it. Like Esper land shenanigans. That's a really cool idea. I think this deck makes me think of Crib. Because he loves Esper and he hates Greed. But you got a ramping commander. I think Crib would actually really like this. Out of everyone on this season of Commander Clash, I will say 48 lands is a big number. Actually, 51 lands. Is there a synergy for having 51 lands? That might be. I know we should play more lands. Like, more is good. That's a huge number, though. That's a huge number. Hey, Seth. Not sure if you were asked this yet, but any thoughts on Magic Online introducing Freeform Commander this week? Think it'd be cool to allow Commander variants that are playable there. I am actually super excited for that. In large part because of Commander Clash, but I think it's a really cool addition. More importantly, it allows for a ton of really cool options that just didn't exist before. Like playing ban cards for one, playing ban cards for one, playing cards that aren't actually legends, like Nephilim, I think is really cool. That would be a really fun option. Being able to set your own rules, doing Oathbreaker. So yeah, I think it's actually a pretty big deal. I'm pretty hyped for. Yeah, we can't keep the one lander. Oh, this is awkward. Ooh, all right, 2 colorless lands. Well, we will keep. Yeah, there's just so many possibilities. So yeah, I'm wondering do you think that they did it because of the new Commander Masters? Because something I just realized today, I didn't realize this is true. So this is going to be a draftable set. If you ever did Commander, oh boy. Well, I mean, we gotta, I guess, take the One Ring because that's well, do we gotta take the One Ring? Probably gotta take the One Ring. So opponent's gonna draw a card. Yeah, this hand's gonna be tough for us to beat. Well, I'll take the One Ring. So the interesting part about this set is it's going to be draftable, but the way they're going to do it is for Commander Masters Limited, all of the legends have partner, even if they don't have partner. So you can play any 2 legends as your commander in draft, which is an interesting idea. I don't know if that's going to be good or bad, but it's going to be interesting for sure. Hamhawks with the raid. Thank you so much, Hamhawks42. Hopefully you had a lovely stream. Welcome, Raiders. Yeah, I think that's kind of a neat idea. What would happen if everything had commander? Oh, also, so here's a question I have for you. I've been pondering, and I haven't come to the answer yet. I don't know if you saw Card Market YouTube. Card Market did a video. Anything we play is going to get countered, right? Let's play. We need more black man. Okay, I think how we do this is 1, 2. Field of Ruin. Blow up something to get a swamp. So yeah, so I did a video. No, not History of Jund. This was a couple weeks before that. It was a video about if your deck could only play a single card, what would win? And it started with like Ragavan versus Lightning Bolt, and then they got to like Chancellor of the Dross, and then Solitude to counter Chancellor of the Dross. I don't know if any of you saw that video. It was an interesting, yeah, you could also play basics. Yeah, I've been very impressed with the Card Market YouTube. They do make some of my current favorite content. What beats Chancellor of the Dross? So what beats Chancellor of the Dross is instant speed life gain. So a deck full of Solitudes, you can evoke a Solitude. You can evoke a Solitude at instant speed to gain enough life to stay alive, and then eventually hardcast the Solitudes. So the question I have is, what if we tried to do that in Commander? Because the same tricks that they were doing don't work. They don't work in 40 card, 40 life formats like Commander. How would you do it in Commander? Let's say you could build a Commander deck, but you can only play basic lands in a single card. What would you put in your deck? And I haven't come to the solution yet. What would be the unbeatable Commander deck with only a single card? Any number of yeah, so you can play any number of that card. But you can only play one non-land card. And you can only play basic, so you can't win with creature lands or whatever. With the single card, so let's say the single card would include the commander, but you're not bound by being, well, actually, I think it would have to, because otherwise you would just win with your commander, right? So I think yes, it would have to include the commander as well. Let's play a land. How do we do this? So we play Shielder, it gets countered. I guess we just draw first? Yeah, let's just draw first. Pack Rat's an interesting option. Do you think Lightning Helix would actually beat the table? Magus of the Bridge. So there's ways that you could never die. Like, there's combinations of cards you could play that would make it so you would be impossible to kill, but then you still wouldn't really win, right? Because in theory, your opponent would, you would not always mill out last. So if your plan was just to gain enough life or whatever to always stay alive, Infinite Ball Lightnings, maybe one of the slivers. Fury's an interesting one. Thassa's Oracle would get there eventually, right? Like, sooner or later, Thassa's Oracle would end up winning the game. It's gonna take a while, though. If they kill this One Ring... Ugh. Yeah, this is why it's bad for Teferi to survive. Probably in trouble now. 60... Just Thrumming Stone into more Thrumming Stones. It's an Ooh, Approach of the Second Sun. That actually might be a good answer. In a 4-player format with 40 life, I think that win the game cards go up a ton in value compared to trying to do that in a 60-card format. All right, well, I mean, let's see if they have a counter. Kind of expecting a Dovin's Veto here, but what else are we going to do? Oh, Reprieve. Okay. Well, yeah. We about to lose to Teferi. Only Creature Lands. Only Creature Lands could be good. Like, if you only played Mutavaults or whatever. Bonus. We desperately need to find a way to kill Teferi, and we don't have a ton of ways. We need to draw a Murderous Rider and miraculously have a Resolve. I forgot how annoying it is to lose to Teferi. Any tips for building a collection in Arena? I just started playing MTG for a year. Wait, I just started, but I've been playing MTG for years. I want to know what I should be doing. So, if the goal is to build an Arena collection without spending money, the easiest way is just to spend money. But if the goal is to do it without spending money, drafting is very good. That is one of the good ways. Also, yeah, this is a bad spot to be in. So drafting is very good, especially if you're decent at drafting. Make sure to hit your dailies. Like that's also very big. A lot of people try to get, how many wins is it now? I've never actually, I always just spend money, so I've never actually played this way. How many wins do you get gold for a day? Is it 10? Is that where it maxes out? Like after 10 wins, then you don't get any more rewards. But definitely make sure to hit your daily rewards. If you got the time, 10 or 15 wins a day is also beneficial. So I think the perfect plan is, or the best plan is, yeah, we're pretty dead here. So I think the best plan is, so you start Arena, you play enough to get 10 or 15 wins, whatever the max is. In those 10 or 15 wins, you hit your daily rewards every day. And then using the gold from your daily rewards and from your wins, use that to enter drafts and hopefully get good at drafting, because drafting is the best way to build a collection, assuming you have a high enough win rate that you're not just like getting wrecked. Even if you don't have that high of a win rate, I think it's still the best way. But if you're like god awful at draft and just like go whatever every time, it's probably not the best option. But if you can get somewhere around 50% win rate, then I think drafting is the way to go. Hey, what's up, Affinity to Squirtle? How are you? Good to see you. Are we dead? We get to play a land. I guess we can try to... So I think we play Shieldred. See if our opponent counters. Opponent has a lot of cards in hand. Okay. Pass the turn. I mean, Teferi Ultimating does beat us. Okay. Well, we will Orcish Bowmasters to ping the Teferi. And then, haha.
As soon as I think of one.
No. That doesn't actually work. And then, Gaia Reach Sanitarium. Haha! Trigger our Bowmasters. I mean, I don't know if this leads to us winning, but this does lead to us not getting Teferi ultimated this turn. That's something. Ping the Teferi. I still think we're pretty far away from action. We need to draw, like, we need the combo kill. We need Thoughtseize into Peer into the Abyss, I think, is the most realistic way of winning from this point. I mean, I guess our Underworld Dreams is going to add up eventually. Our opponent just has so many answers. They have a lot of answers to non-creature permanents. If you draft, make sure to be on the draw more than 20% of the time. And on the draw... Wait. If you draft, make sure to be on the draw more than 20%. And to draw less than 75% lands. Can't avoid any of those. Yeah, I mean, Magic is a game of variance for sure. Like, that's... I don't know if that's specific to Arena and drafting, but you know, running well certainly helps, for sure. No doubt about that. I think I might have it with Cloudsteel Kieran. They have to win before you hit 5. Ooh. Okay. That actually is the best. I think that's the best answer I've heard so far. So you play Cloudsteel Kieran. If your deck's full of them, if they can't kill you quickly enough, you can start equipping them so you're never going to die. And you also have a clock that lets you attack your opponent. I actually think that might be the correct answer. I think you might actually nailed it. Well, all right, we're gonna play a One Ring. Our opponent presumably is going to counter our One Ring, making us very sad. Opponent reprieves our One Ring, draws a card. We ping the Teferi.
Want me to phase you out of time?
1, 2, 3, 4. Play a One Ring. Our opponent reprieves the One Ring. Well, go Orcish Bowmasters, I guess. Ping the Teferi, grow the Orc. Play a land. Go to combat. Attack the Teferi. Opponent. Archmage's Charm. Alright. Well, that's annoying. So much for attacking Teferi. Well, we'll pass the turn. Opponent can't activate the One Ring because of Underworld Dreams and Bowmasters. Down to 10. I mean, I'm kind of surprised we're still in this game. We have not run especially well. Well, let's Gaia Reach. Get some triggers. Oh. Yeah, I think we had to discard the One Ring now, unfortunately. I think the Murderous Rider is more important. Ping our opponent. Amass. Bowmasters bounced. Opponent down to 8. They might have to Teferi Tuck? Wow, opponent just draws. Okay, draws a card with Teferi. Ping down to 7. How are we still in this game? Callum cycles, taps, ping down to 6. Opponent goes attacking. I can't believe we're in this. I cannot believe we're still in this game. Opponent thinking about activating the One Ring. How greedy are you, friend? How greedy are you? I can't believe they're not getting rid of the Underworld Dreams and just going with it. Also, half hour till spoiler time, by the way. Hey, so as standard, I've been playing Rakdos Sacrifice and Token Devilish Valet. Did you see the Bant deck going 5-2? Well, I didn't. I have not really played standard since the Lord of the Rings set came out. How is standard been? Has it been good? Well, that's interesting. 8-9. We have 10 mana. 10 mana. How can we do this? So let's stop on our opponent's upkeep. So we go to combat. We attack our opponent. Oh, okay. So in response, we are going to play a Bowmasters. In response, we're going to play a Bowmasters. Ping you. Oh, opponent. I don't think you should have cycled. I don't think you should have cycled, friend. I don't think you should have cycled, friend. I don't think you should have cycled. 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 Got him. Yes. Through all the Teferis and all the control permanents and the unreadable wall of Caleb text. Oh, Bowmasters is so good. Oh, that was a sweet win. Wow. I don't know if I've ever won a game where an opponent had a Teferi on the battlefield for that. Like, our opponent is just drawing an extra card every turn for like 10 turns in a row with Teferi. Handful of cards, 23 cards left in their deck. Our stuff being bounced and partitioned and perpetually made more expensive. And in the end, our card draw Texan comes through. That was a pretty long match. We've played 2 matches so far in an hour. So we're averaging like, what, 30 minutes a match? Our first one was shorter, too. That was a good one. Hey man, I made a deck for Alchemy, but it says the One Ring and the Watcher on the Water aren't legal in Alchemy, but I'm using a deck in Alchemy. Anyone, your opinion, how do I post it here so you can take a look and give me advice? So Duke Silver, if you have a link, you can, that's the easiest way. If you have like a link to, I mean, I use Goldfish. I always recommend mtggoldfish.com, but any site that you use to store your deck lists is fine. If you don't have a link, creating one is probably the easiest. You could just put the wall of text in chat, but honestly, if you do the wall of text, it's going to be hard for me to actually parse it on stream. Today is the start of Commander Masters spoilers. 30 minutes from now, 27 minutes from now, we will be watching Commander Masters spoilers together. Yeah, that's fine. Whatever you use, Duke, just send me a link and I'll take a look at it. Hey, thank you, dear God. How are you today? So are any of you actually going to buy? How are you going to interact with Commander Masters? What do you think of the Master Precon Commanders? Oh, we should talk about them, shouldn't we? Those are the cards that have been officially previewed so far. So oh, this hand gets a lot worse with a Thoughtseize. So one of the unique aspects of this set, we'll talk about it. We're about to get wrecked. Like, this is very, very bad. Haha. Draw what they Thoughtseize. That's the way to do it. There are a handful of cards that have been officially spoiled. What's up with everyone playing Control today? What is up, Control players? Orcish Bowmasters. Well, yeah, we are going to kill that. I kind of want to buy the Precons. The Precons, I feel like, I can't shake the feeling that they're going to be worth it. Like, I can't shake the feeling that the Precons are actually going to be worth it. I don't know about the main set. The main set, I can't shake the feeling that there's no way the boosters are going to be worth my money, but about it. Untap land. Now you can Thoughtseize this opponent. Please Thoughtseize this. Oh, Shieldred. Okay, that's not good. Well, we draw Bowmasters, which is something. Yeah, we've drawn a lot of lands. A lot of lands. How recent after master sets is the best time to buy singles? So traditionally, Oh, God. All right. Traditionally, haha, you have activated our trap card. Traditionally, the best time to buy singles is, like 2 to 6 months after the set releases. Oh, yeah, we can't hit them. All right. Well, I guess we're hitting the Shieldred then. Opponent. We could use a One Ring. Or a way to kill Shieldred. Or, like, any non-land. Not a Fatal Push. Another Bowmasters. That's spicy. Well, let's play the Nykthos and pass the turn. Opponent. Get a little ringed. What a weird battle of card draw hate in life gain. Opponent. One ring. Boom. How about a Bowmasters? In response. Hit your Shieldred. Oh, opponent, you should not have drawn so many cards. You should not have drawn so many cards. You shouldn't have drawn so many cards. Okay, Bowmaster is kind of ridiculous. Opponent. Hey, what's up, Podologist? How are you? Hey, Seth. Another one. Opponent. Boy, we're drawing a lot of nothingness. Well, attack for 7. Play a land. Well, I mean, I guess this is showing the power of Bowmasters because we're doing essentially nothing. Our opponent's going off with the One Ring, but these Bowmasters are keeping us in the game. Are we going to One Ring opponent? Who knows what'll happen? You'll draw a lot of cards. We know that. About it. It is kind of ridiculous. I mean, so is the One Ring. Like both of those cards. Opponent. Opponent. Really? Really? Spoiler stream, 23-ish minutes. Well, opponent's still going for it. Okay. Well, I guess we can't hit their face. That's right. Well, hit your Shieldred. Hit your Shieldred. Opponent gains a bit of life. All right, yeah, can't actually do anything about that. No way to trigger Revolt to kill the Shieldred. Opponent goes to 12. Oh! Okay. Go to combat. Attack. Let's see if they block. Oh! Gary coming through. Gary coming through. Oh, wait, I'm an idiot. They have protection. Gary did some work, but... That's right, our opponent has protection from everything. Oops. I forgot, yeah. Our orc didn't actually deal any damage. I mean, it's still good, but our orc didn't actually kill our opponent. About it. Oh, I was so excited, too. 1 p.m. Eastern time is 20 minutes from now. 21 minutes. So opponent drew 2 cards? Yeah, I guess we just go face. Boy, this is a big amass. I don't know how our oh, wait. Our opponent did not think through that they were the active player. GR Michelle. Well, the ring is a burden. The ring is a burden. Welcome to the fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big scoop cheer for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, well, that was surprisingly good. Consider, like, that was a game we never drew a One Ring. Our opponent had the One Ring and they went off with it all game, and we still ended up winning in the end. Is Bowmasters better than the One Ring? I mean, Bowmasters is incredibly strong. I don't know if I'd say, I mean, it might be busted, but like in the world of Lord of the Rings cards, the One Ring is absurd. Like, I'm coming around on the idea that this might need to be banned in August. Like, I'm getting to that point. The One Ring is just, it's a game warping style of good. Bowmasters is very strong. I don't know if it's game warping in the way that the One Ring is. I mean, really, Gary was the hero there, right? Like, we ended up with exact Z's damage. That Gary draining for like 8 was what got us to that point. Well, all right, we'll bring in the dresses. Run it like that. I mean, so I'm still enjoying playing the One Ring right now, but is Bowmasters a fixed notion thief? Sort of. In Commander, I would consider Bowmasters a fixed notion thief. In 60 card formats, I think it's a way better notion thief. Like, in Commander being 4 mana, whatever, Bowmaster still lets your opponent draw, so you can find a Wrath or whatever to get out from under it. In 60 card formats, though, Notion Thief's not very good because it's too expensive. Like, 4 mana's a lot. Huh. Bowmaster, Shieldred, the One Ring. Well, we're going to take the One Ring. This will probably actually work. Our opponent is presumably going to flash into Bowmasters. In the Bowmaster battle, oh, they're not going to flash into Bowmasters. In a Bowmaster battle, you really want to be the person playing the second Bowmasters, because then your Bowmaster snipes their Bowmaster. Or our opponent has a Crucius. Okay, that's a little... We needed a little alchemy in our lives. Opponent discards a land, makes a treasure, draws a non-land. Well, I mean, I guess we play the Bowmaster. We desperately need a land. All right, we hit a swamp. That's pretty big. All right, pass the turn. That's good news. That's very good news. So our opponent can Bowmaster our Bowmaster, but now our Murderous Riders are on, which is big. We're not just gonna get Crucius snowballed. Shieldred. Well, we will put a Swift End to Crucius. Opponent. Shieldred. Should we just Swift End the Shieldred? Probably. All right, let's also put a Swift into Shieldred. Draw a Gifted Aetherborn. I mean, we wouldn't mind drawing some lands. That would not be the worst. About it. Yeah, I can't believe that Wizards has not rebalanced Crucius. Like, I'm not sure what the point of this format is. I'm not sure what the point of this format is if we're not going to rebalance things. Like, what is the point of historic and digital only cards in this whole thing if we're not going to be aggressively rebalancing cards that need to be rebalanced? All right, Shieldred. Boy, we're really struggling to draw lands. All right, Gifted Aetherborn. Yo. Opponent. Yeah, 2 lands Nykthos is awkward. Oh, another Crucius. Okay. Opponent. All right. Going to discard a Bowmaster. Ambitious is what, more expensive? Greater mana value. All right, well, 1, 2. Do some devotion stuff. Duress our opponent. Take the One Ring. Hive of the Eye Tyrant. Underworld Dream. Dreams. Pass the turn. Opponent. 15-minute countdown to spoiler time. Yeah, we're actually making Nykthos do things now, which is huge. The Underworld Dreams is pretty helpful there. Just the 3 black. Wow, opponent's just going to draw. Okay. Sure. Gain 1, take 2. Land. And. Alright. Back at it. Crucius. Discards makes a treasure. It's a land. It could be anything. And we draw Thoughtseize, so we get drained down to 8. Alright, so we have 8 mana. 8 mana. What do we do with it? So our best bet's probably Thoughtseize our opponent. Yeah, so Thoughtseize our opponent. Oh my god, Nicobolas Dragon God. Play a Shieldred. Play a Murderous Rider. And then let's get in with one of the Gifted Aetherborns. Gain back a little life. Devotion at 11. If we can find a tutor, we can get the combo kill. Opponent draws. Triggers. Triggers. About it. Come on, deck. Hey, how's Mexico? I've always heard Cancun, Mexico is super. Oh, opponent finds a Thoughtseize. I've always heard Cancun, Mexico is super nice. I've never actually been there though. All right, opponent. Guess Lockwing gonna draw a card. This is the deck I love. This is the deck idea. It does win, but I'd love some advice on changes or additions. Ooh, let me see, Duke. Let me finish off where we're at right now, and then I'll pull it up in just a minute. All right, opponent. All right, big draw. Wishclaw Talisman's the best draw. That's the draw that puts the game away. Crucius. Discards a land. Crucius so good. We draw a land. Well, we didn't really want a land. That was not on our list. How do we do this? Go to combat. Hit you with the Aetherborn. Hit you with the Aetherborn. About it. Doesn't really have great blocks. Oh. Alright, opponent must have drawn... They must have drawn a Shieldred. There's no way you trade the Shieldred unless you drew another one. Alright. Well, we go to 12. Stuff dies. Murderous Rider. And pass the turn. Opponent. They must have drawn another one. Either that or our opponent's just kind of killing themselves. Hey man, love the videos on YouTube. The recent Rosie Skuriok has finally got me to platinum. Hey, that's awesome. I'm glad it's working for you. Welcome to the stream, Nova. Spoiler stream starting in 10 minutes. 10 minutes we will be firing up the WotC stream to see what's coming in this Commander Master set. There better be, if they're going to sell boxes for such a ridiculously high price, this set better have some value. I'm talking mana crypts. I don't mean like, so they can add value to it by like, oh, there's a serialized card that's super rare and expensive. That's not the kind of value we want though. Like, that's fine. I'm not against that. Like, go ahead, do what you got to do with the serialized cards, make them for collectors. But what I want to see is, oh, that's what our opponent's doing. What I want to see is expensive serialized cards. Expensive non-serialized cards. I want to see the mana crypts, the staples that players actually need to play with. That's what I'm looking for. Well, play a Gaia Reach. Fire up Hive of the Eye Tyrant. We're in piece it together mode. We will take I guess a Shieldred. Opponent down to 4. Down to 3. Hive of the Eye Tyrant. Representing lethal thanks to Underworld Dreams. Sneaky All-Star Underworld Dreams. Opponent. Okay, that's a good question. What do you want to see reprinted most? You are president of WotC. You're Marrow's boss for the day. You get to tell Mark to put any one card into the set. What card would it be? What is your one card that you would put in Commander Masters? I would Parallel Lives is a good one. Ooh, the medallions. Urza Saga, that's a good one. People really like the medallion. Are medallions expensive? Wow, opponent draws a 1 ring. Okay. If they tap the 1 ring, they die to Underworld Dreams. Would you like to tap your 1 ring, opponent? Just do it. Don't think about it. You got the power. Okay, opponent. Oh, actually, no. If this is damage, so it doesn't work. The opponent's not quite dead yet. I still think they die in their upkeep, though, unless this is Shieldred. Thanks to Gaia Reach. All right. Karavak, sure. Well, we draw land. We play the land. This is actually kind of a funny kill. So we pass the turn. Opponent takes 1 from the 1 ring. Before they draw a card, we Gaia Reach Sanitarium to trigger Underworld Dreams. I think this adds up to 3. And we'll discard a Hive of the Eye Tyrant. Ping ya. Pew pew, down to 2. 1 ring, ping ya. Opponent, would you like to draw for your turn? I love this deck. I love it. I absolutely love it. Activate the 1 ring. Draw. You can draw your way out of this opponent. The solution to dying to card draw is more card draw. Yeah, I think we are 3-0-6-0, aren't we? And having a good time along the way. Spoiler stream, 7 minutes. 7 minutes. So we're not gonna fire up another match. Because there's no way we're gonna finish it in time. But if you like devotion decks, the deck's actually pretty fun. And it is so right now, a lot of people are playing the 1 ring because it's absolutely busted. This deck has really good matchups against 1 ring decks just because Underworld Dreams, Bowmasters, and Shieldred all specifically hate on mass card draw effects. So we have a lot of things that are really good against people playing 1 ring, and a lot of people are playing 1 ring. Plus you get Gary, which is just such a cool card. So yeah, it's super sweet. Co-streaming it. Is that what it's called? I don't know. You probably. That's probably what it's called. Usually we just fire up the WotC stream and watch it and see the spoiler cards, make fun of them a little bit for technology and some of the memes, but yeah, so I guess co-streaming is the right word for it. So here's what we got so far from the Lord of the Rings set as we're waiting for this to start. So we got some early spoilers. Capture of Jinghao. This is one of those cards, that number is very big and flashy, but that number exists purely because this is a Portal 3 Kingdom card that was never reprinted. Normally, when we see these Portal 3 Kingdoms cards finally get a reprint, the prices drop a lot. What was the X Return spell? What was X Return spell? There is a Goldfish Discord. I'm not in it as much as I would like to be, but that's on my list. What was the X Return spell from Portal 3 Kingdoms? Warrior's Oath. I'm curious where that's at now. So Warrior's Oath was before Double Masters. That was the oh my god, that card's so expensive. Hundreds of dollars. Five buccarinos. Yep. Before it was reprinted. Yeah, it was a solid $500 card before it was reprinted. I think that Capture has more playability than Warrior's Oath. So I don't think I expect Capture of Jinghao to end up $5, but this is not a $100 card. This is a $10 $10, $15 card probably. Jeweled Lotus, obviously, probably shouldn't exist, but it is a commander staple. Very good reprint. Dragon, also probably. This is like the mistakes of Commander's past. Dragon, also arguably a little bit too strong with Eminence, but one of the most popular Dragon commanders. Glad it's reprinted. Savala, Heart of the Wilds. I'm not even sure what Savala's worth. Savala, like 16 bucks. Savala's a cool card. I like Savala. Personal Tutor, that's another one. Expensive because it's from Portal and it's never been reprinted. Like the cost should, the value should go down a lot. Like it's a bad mystical tutor essentially, like a bad mystical tutor. Its price is because there's hardly any of them in existence, not because it's a good card. Do you think that free on Moto Turbo Fog can work in Pioneer? This is my try. Oh, I forgot the other deck I'm supposed to look at too. I'm sorry. I'll look at it before the stream comes on. Turbo Fog for Pioneer. Ooh, I like the idea of it. My concern in Pioneer is Bone Crusher is actually very, very popular, and Questing Beast is kind of popular. So my concern is there's actually a lot of good answers that ruin the Fog plan. Maybe more counters to stop those could be the way, but that's my concern. I think the deck list looks very solid, especially for a ultra budget free on Moto version. So it looks very solid. Little concerned about how the meta lines up with this though, just because Bone Crusher is way more popular. And then Royal Assassin, let's see, Dimir Draw. Ooh, Shieldred, Watcher in the Water, Arcane Proxy. Okay, 1 ring. Shieldred's Edict, consider cut down, go for the throat negate. I mean, I think you're on a right track. I would say, So I would say I'm not sold on Arcane Proxy in this deck. I think if you're playing in Historic and you want this effect, I think that Snapcaster Mage is just a better version of it. I don't know if you really want that at all. The idea of using the 1 ring to trigger Watcher during your opponent's turn is pretty neat. I think you're on a good course for what you're trying to do. I would definitely consider Orcish Bowmasters. We kind of just saw it in action. That would be a really nice 2-drop for this deck. The other thing is, like, Teferi's great in the deck. Do you want 4 Teferis? Maybe not. So I think you had a really cool idea, and I think you have a functional deck as it is. I would also probably go over 22 lands. I guess the Consider's help there. I might go to I would probably play 24 personally in this deck. So I guess my advice would be, if you're playing Historic and you want a Snapcaster effect, I would just play actual Snapcaster over Arcane Proxy. Honestly, I would probably just cut this all together and play more card draw. Play Orcish Bowmasters if you can, add a couple more lands, and if you have to trim something, playing like 3 Teferis is probably fine. I don't know if you actually need the full 4 Teferis, but it's a cool idea for sure. All right, we'll pull up the stream, so we'll be ready for it. What were we talking about though? Oh, and then we got the new cards. That's the thing that we haven't talked about yet. So one of the twists of this Masters set is there are 4 Commander Precons that are very cool but very expensive, and they actually contain new cards, which we haven't seen yet. So one of them is a Sliver deck led by Sliver Gravemother, 5-mana 6/6. The legend rule doesn't apply to slivers you control. Each sliver in your graveyard has Encore of X, where X is its mana value, and it has Encore of X. Encore means you exile it from your graveyard, and you get a token copy of it for each opponent. So until end of turn, they get haste, you get until end of turn. I feel like this is a cool card. I don't know if this is going to be a super popular Sliver commander. I feel like this will be very popular in the 99. Slivers have a bunch of really cool 5-color legends, so it's kind of competing with a lot of stuff for being the actual commander of a deck, but I think I play this in the 99 very, very easily for sure, and I'm expecting a lot of cool Sliver reprints. We also got Commodore Guff, which I guess as a Jeskai Super Friends commander. I don't know. I've never been very impressed with any of the Planeswalkers, your commanders. If that's something you enjoy, then it's probably a cool addition to that. But I've never really gotten into the Planeswalkers, your commander. I think they tend to be really weak. This one, at the beginning of the step, you get loyalty on another Planeswalker. A loyalty. Stream time. Here we go.
MTG and the Commander
Here
Masters
we
debut.
go.
I'm joined by the one and only
Oh, and we got Gavin.
Verhey,
Oh, Gavin.
who is here to share
how's the
all
audio
things
level?
behind the scenes of all these preview cards that we're going to talk about.
Yeah, I'm so excited. It feels like I
how's the
worked on the
audio?
set so long ago. We can finally dig into it and reveal a lot of the cool stuff that's in the product. Which
I will
stoked for.
say-
and also just talk about the draft a little bit too, which is
Yeah.
a favorite of mine.
Absolutely.
Gavin is-
So we've
is
got a bunch of preview cards. We're gonna
maybe
talk about-
my
we've got some
favorite
sections, we've got some
WotC
suspects,
person.
Trinkets, legends, spice, all that sort of
I
jazz.
very much appreciate
but
Gavin.
Why don't you tell us first of all what is Commander Masters and what's unique about this product?
Emrakul
So
seems
Commander Masters
unlikely
is a
since it's
reprint
banned in
set. The
Commander.
main set is all reprints from Magic's history. A lot of Commander staples in there.
Possibly
You've seen tons of them
new
today as we go
Emrakul.
through the
Emrakul
show.
promised that,
Now,
and that
Commander
could
Masters,
happen.
Of course, you can just buy packs and crack them and get cool.
Still in
cards
a
for your
pre-con,
Commander
I would
decks,
doubt it.
But you can also draft the set, which is something I'm always very passionate about, helping pioneer. Commander
you like
draft and
Commander
Commander
Draft?
Legends. And it's a lot of fun to me because
Has
when you
anyone
sit down
played,
at the
like,
table and
Commander
you draft,
Legends?
you can draft with as few
Gavin
as 4
is.
people, or
He
maybe
is
as,
future
8+ is
Marrow.
awesome,
You
too.
can tell he's
And,
being
at the
groomed
end of it,
or
you all have
whatever to be
decks
the
that
future
are all
Mark
about the same power
Rosewater.
level, right? You don't have to have that conversation of how strong is your deck. You're like, well, we just all drafted them. I passed
That's the
through
only one
cards,
we've seen
right?
so
You know
far
what's
is
in there.
Grave
And,
Master.
when you're done with it,
We haven't
what's
seen the
really
rest of the
cool is you
decks.
can kind of have the starter of your own next Commander deck, which is a blast. So I've got an article
It is
coming out
kinda
later this
long.
week. It's a refresher on
It's
how to do
fun,
Commander
but
draft.
yeah,
And it's
Commander
a lot of
Draft,
fun.
I've enjoyed it, but it
There's
is
also,
very
we're not
long
going to be talking about
sometimes.
this part today, but the main set is all reprints. There are also 4 Commander decks coming out, and those Commander decks do have new cards. The themes, just as a recap, are
So
Slivers, 5 colors, 0 color Eldrazi.
I don't know
so
if
that's
I
pretty
like
cool.
new
That's a big one,
cards.
3 color
in,
Jeskai
Master
Planeswalkers,
sets, but whatever.
and Abzan
The precons are
Enchantress.
going
So
to
they're
be
pretty
sweet,
cool
I
themes
think.
and kind of a bunch of fan favorite or very highly requested.
All right. Cards. Show us cards,
And then
Gavin.
finally, my role on the set, just so everyone out there knows, is I was the really early vision designer for the set. I started working on this product as I've wanted to do it for a long time.
If this, I will say right now, like, if this is one of those things where it's like, oh, we couldn't reprint the necessary expensive cards because of limited, like if they're like, oh, we can't print like the free spell cycle, the deflecting SWAT, that cycle from Commander 2020. If we end up in a position where like, oh, we can't do that because they're not getting limited, you know, they only really work in Commander, I'm going to be very disappointed. Like, I'm kind of, as much as I know you got to make this sets draftable, Commander Draft is unique. It also kind of bothers me that sometimes we don't get the reprints we need, and the excuse is, oh, well, limited. The problem is limited. With Master sets, I want the focus to be, give us the expensive cards, make those cards cheaper so we can play with them, and have limited be a secondary thing.
For previews today. So let's kick things off. We've got this section called The Usual Suspects because it's going to be a lot of the things people expect. It's the kind of stuff they don't even guess in chat because they just know it's going to be here.
But they look cooler than ever.
They look cooler than ever. We've got some cool versions. So let's start off with number 1, obvious inclusion, Soul Ring.
Yeah, and Soul Ring is finally here. Notably, it was actually not in the main set of Commander Legends.
At some point, we're
Commander
going to have to do a
Legends
Soul Ring
2000.
tier list.
It's in the main
There's
set here.
so
You can
many
draft it, you
versions
put
of
it in your
Soul
draft
Ring
deck, it's
now.
sick. It has
This
this
version-
awesome borderless
It
version
looks-
you can open.
it looks pretty
with
sweet.
this
The
new
border
artwork
list
by
doesn't
Mark
look
Poole,
bad.
this awesome
Like, it's-
Urza flavor
it's fine.
text.
It's fine.
That's really incredible.
I don't know what. Give me a
And,
letter
you know,
grade.
we're
What
talking
tier is the
about
borderless
some
Soul
ways to
Ring?
make Commander Masters
is it an
feel
A
a little
tier?
different from the previous 2
Tuca
Commander draft
Buddy!
sets.
Welcome
And
to the visual.
while
Thank
you
you
know
so much for your subscription. Big subscription for you.
we
I
wanted
would
to make sure there were,
I would
like,
play this
some,
Soul Ring.
Some cards that you
I
were
would
going
play
to make
it.
felt like made it.
It's
whole
uncommon too,
Commander
so
deck.
hopefully it
And
shows
Soul Ring is such an
shows up
iconic
pretty
card.
often.
Yes,
Low
it's
tier.
really strong and limited.
I would
yes, it's
probably
very
give it
powerful,
a
but hey, let's make
high
sure you can have
B.
access
High
to
B.
it. So it's here in this.
I don't think it's like my
you can
favorite
draft
Soul
it,
Ring
put
of
it in
all
your
time
deck,
or anything,
and,
but
you know, draw it on turn 1.
it's good enough that I would play. I would not actively
Tip to
avoid
everyone,
playing this
if
one
you
in my
open
deck.
Soul Ring, pick it.
Probably a good pick. Probably a good pick.
Pick it.
Yeah.
All right.
Wait,
Number
Soul
2.
Ring's good?
On
Blake
the
with the words of
obvious
wisdom.
list is
Soul Ring,
Command Tower.
strong
It's right there in
magic
the name.
card.
There it
We're
is.
going to do the thing.
Okay.
Command Tower is
Command
here.
Tower.
There's an awesome new borderless version by Donato Giancola.
I like the
that's super
rainbow.
cool.
That's a
And
that's
one
a
fun
sweet
thing that
looking
was really
rainbow.
great about this set is getting to take a lot of these commons and uncommons that don't often
Are there
see
any you'd
Booster
actively
Fund. Like,
avoid?
you don't really get Command Tower Booster Fund very often because it's not in. You know, it's in
I
Commander, so it's
normally
not
try
often
to
Booster
I
Fund.
normally
Here,
avoid
we're able
just
to blow it
the
all out, make some really cool versions.
and
of
this
these
probably is
cards,
going to sound
and I love
elitist or
it. Yeah,
something,
yeah, it's a
but
good card to
I
always
don't
put in your
usually
Commander
play
deck. When you
the
draft,
Commander
the
pre-con
packs
versions.
are
I
20
like the
cards
old
apiece,
border
so you're gonna end
version.
up
My
with
go-to
60
is
cards at
old
the end.
border.
You're gonna only need,
I
like,
mean, I'm not like
35 or
against
so of those
playing this
spells.
Soul Ring, but
So
if
you
I'm
can
going to play
spend a
this
pick or
Soul
two on
Ring,
Command Tower.
Yeah.
I'm just going
Makes
to
your
play
mana work
an
and
old
cast your spell.
a retro border version of that Soul
Another
Ring
high
with that
pick
art.
here, and another common inclusion is Arcane Signet.
That's right. Once again, with some brand new artwork by Drew.
What do you think
Tucker, and I
about-
love the cadre of artists we got to grab for this.
That's new.
It's a mana
Wow,
rock.
new Drew Tucker
Yeah, I
art.
probably don't need to explain
It
to
is
anyone
really
watching
one of the things
show.
that's been
It's a mana
really
rock,
cool in
it's
Magic in
powerful.
the past year.
You probably shouldn't have
is-
made it. It's super strong. And
You've said that before. Yeah.
One other thing that's really cool is we've seen the return of some classic Magic artists, and Drew Tucker is one of my favorite like old Magic artists. Just like it's kind of abstract, it's different than other people's art. Really, really cool to see Wizards bringing back some of these artists from like 20, 30 years ago that haven't made pieces in a long time. This is Arcane Signet I will play because I love Drew Tucker. This is one I will seek this out and get them for my commander decks just because it's Drew Tucker art and I love Drew Tucker art.
But still a pretty common.
Favorite Soul Ring.
Yeah, and this was a card I designed
Path of
all the way back in
Ancestry.
Commander 2017.
Path of
Still
Ancestry
big
is a
today.
really good commander card.
It fixes your mana, which is awesome, and lets you scry at least when you cast your commander.
Like, I feel like Path of Ancestry might be underrated. I feel like people think of this as a card for tribal decks, and why it's at its best in tribal decks. It's a tap dual land that adds any of your commander's colors, and you're going to get some scry out of it. As Gavin just mentioned, like, worst case, you cast your commander, you get to scry, and often you're going to have some creatures that accidentally have the same type as your commander. So I feel like this is a card that people should play more often.
On something you just said there about partner.
Please stop talking
So
over the
how
stream.
does that work in draft?
I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
we're going to get there in a little bit, but I guess
if you do
no,
not
we're
want
gonna
the
do it now.
talk,
Oh,
me
well,
talking
that's-
over
wow,
the
what a
stream
great-
version of
what a great
things.
segue. A little bit. That's fine. So partner.
Twitch.tv/magic.
Here's something that's really interesting.
You can just
Inside
watch
this
the
So,
WotC version with no
when
me.
we were designing Commander Legends, we kind of figured out partner was the glue that made the whole thing run together. Because when you're drafting, you have to be able to pivot colors. And when you're locked into a 2-color legend, it's really hard. So with Commander Legends, we made a bunch of new partners. With Commander Legends 2 Battle for Baldur's Gate, we made a bunch of backgrounds. So we had that as a mechanic. One of the unique challenges for Commander Masters was we can't make new cards for it, so how are we going to do that? How are we going to make that work? And we tried a few things, and we came up with a really cool draft-specific rule. So in Commander Masters Limited, and only Commander Masters Limited, you can use any 2 mono or 0 colored legends as though they had partner, which is really fun. So if you have
What do you think of
blue
that rule?
legend and a red legend that's monocolored, you can team them up and have
That actually seems like a really cool rule for
fun,
limited.
because you get to
Like
make some
I
pairings
really
you've never
like.
been able to play before in Magic.
I
history,
really
right?
like
You
the
can put
idea
cards
of that for
together
limited.
that normally cannot sit in your command zone together for a
The
really fun,
idea of
really
having,
unique, really good experience. And there's a
commanders
lot
that were
of fun
not
mixing
supposed to
and
be
matching of classic
partners
legends and
together
being
in the
able to do
command
that.
zone can lead to some
And
really
it was
cool
it was
things.
something
Like
we came up
that's
with in design. It was
Now-
like a fun
ooh.
wrinkle, and initially we're like, is this going to work?
now I kind of want to do a game like that for actual commander. Now that we have freeform on Moto, like what would be the most busted pair of commanders if you could pair together any 2 mono color commanders?
Correct.
And it's only for mono or 0 colored legends.
That's right. So if you draft 2 colored legends, you can't have a 4-color deck. That's very strong. But you can play monocolor with 2 blue legends. You can play blue
Yawgmoth
and
and
red
Carrot
with
could
a
be
mono blue and mono red legend,
busted.
and so on and so forth.
Busted.
And then if you want
Is there anything should be
rule
put in the
0 that to
primer
work in
for a
your other
deck
commander games, you can.
being
but it's not
submitted?
ruled before.
You don't have to have anything in there, motherfucker.
Okay,
If there's anything
now,
you want to
to
explain,
help
go
make
for
that
it, but
happen, we did
it's not
reprint
necessary.
A card from previous Commander Legends.
Variant,
We were talking about partner
welcome to the
and all that
fishbowl.
sort of
Thank
stuff,
you for
which
your
is our next
subscription.
preview card.
Thank you.
Kind of a usual suspects now in this sort of draft environment. So talk about the prismatic. Pipe.
I have
Yes,
so
the Prismatic
I
Piper
opened
is a
some
very funny card, 'cause
boxes
it's one of the
of
only Magic cards I've ever
original
made
Commander
where the
Masters.
goal
I
is
have
really
so
to
many
not
of
have
these
you use
worthless
it.
prismatic pipers.
Prismatic Piper is a funny one because it's
Show us
basically
good
when you're
cards,
drafting Commander
Gavin.
Legends,
Show
you
us
need to
good
have
cards.
a commander at the end of it. Your deck has to be able to match color.
Hey, what's up, Monadiga?
So Prismatic Piper is like the.
They just
I didn't
started.
actually
We've
draft a
seen
legend that I
Soul
needed.
Ring, Command Tower,
So it's kind of like a basic
Path of
one.
Ancestry.
Right.
Just
You always
some
have
fine
access to it.
comments.
You can
It's
always grab it
necessary
if you
for
need to
limited.
put
It's
into your deck.
necessary.
But
Hey, what's up,
just
Doctor?
so
Good
everyone
to
out
see
there is
you.
aware, almost no one has ever had to use
I
this
mean,
card.
sub
In
artwork's
Commander
always
Legends 1, I almost
great.
never saw this used. In Commander Masters, only one.
It's
in
funny
one
to see
playtest
like
ever
really
did
cool
anyone
artwork
use this
on.
card.
I mean, I guess it's very important for
I really would not
limited, but
expect to use this,
on
but
a
it
card
is
that
always
is
there
useless in
as a
60 card
fail-safe,
formats
just
or
in
even
case
Commander.
You're drafting, you end up with a mono blue commander.
Oh,
You need a
baby.
red partner to pair with it. Okay, you can bring in the Prismatic Piper, and it'll get the
Wait,
job
chat's up
done.
in flames about what?
It'll be there.
It'll be there. But,
It'll be there.
But I think what we found when we were playtesting Commander Legends originally is people were really worried about not having a commander, even though it almost never
Yeah.
actually happened. So
It's-
just having that release valve makes you feel a little safer.
It's
And
a
then you'll have
necessary
deck at the end of
evil.
the draft
It's
and
an
you can still
you
walk
gotta
away
have
and be like,
it
I
for
can't play
limited.
that, which
Yep.
is, not the idea.
Now, we're not going to dive too deep into the draft environment today. But one of the things we did want to highlight is that the draft environment is in many ways shaped by downshifts as well.
Ooh.
So
this
while we're
is
on the
relevant
subject of the draft environment,
for Pauper
let's
potentially.
show one of those downshifts, and you can talk a little bit about the draft environment before we get into it.
Yeah, totally. So here's a downshift of Extinguish All Hope, previously a rare.
Okay, so
with brand new.
So
artwork.
this
So a couple things here.
is.
First of all,
Hey, welcome,
yeah,
Dr.
there's
Gibble.
a
Good to have
handful of
ya.
downshifts in the set. I mean, one of the things that about commanders, you need creatures. You need
Gavin's
splashy plays,
a
and you need board
pauper
sweepers
guy,
up
so you
board
got to
away.
expect
Board
he
sweepers,
snuck in
not
some stuff for
traditionally
pauper.
Common or uncommon effects. So
This one, though, this isn't really relevant, right? So, like, it's exciting in the sense that it is a hard wrath in uncommon, which we almost never see, but there's not really a uncommon only format. So it's still not legal in Pauper. That would be, if this was a common, that would be a game changer, actually, of a hard wrath at common for Pauper. As an uncommon, I mean, I guess it's cool. It's not even coming to arenas. I was going to say less wildcards on arena, but
draft deck that you normally would only see in rare and some other set, and here you get to put your deck together using it.
Going to be a high-powered limited format. Like if they're putting wraths like this at
I think we're
uncommon.
doing your article on the draft archetypes tomorrow. I think that's coming out tomorrow.
That's
But that's a very specific wrath. Is that one of the archetypes in the format, in the draft format?
There's not an enchantment deck really in the format, so it's mostly just it's a cool black sweeper. It's it's something we could downshift down, but there are some
It was weak enough that they could
downshift
actually
cards are in the format
downshift
that
it.
you want to keep an eye out for. So there's a lot of cards that are like we downshifted specifically.
I mean, it
so
is
it's
6
common,
mana.
uncommon,
It is
set,
an
help out with
expensive
archetype.
wrath.
There's a lot of really cool legends we downshifted that are really, really exciting. So I can't wait for you to see some of those. And I've got an article coming out tomorrow with a ton of preview cards talking about the archetypes a little bit and some of these downshifts. So stay tuned for that.
All right. Now we're going to move on to trinkets, and before we get into
Okay.
this, yes, I know trinkets are traditionally 1 mana.
Yeah, can't trinket mage for any of the
You
cards we're
can't
about to
trinket
show.
mage for any of the things we're about to show. They're all 2 mana, but it works.
Oh,
It does.
got to be mana rocks.
Anyway,
Got to be mana rocks.
so obviously you talked earlier about 2 mana rocks,
Medallions?
and how important they are to
Medallions?
Commander, and so
Medallions coming
we
back?
obviously wanted to include some more of those in here, and we got a list of 6 here that we're going to talk about that are not as common inclusions. We haven't printed them as much. So let's start out with one of the oldest 2 mana rocks in the game, Felwar Stone.
Yeah, this has some really cool new artwork here by Randy
So
Galvis.
far,
This
we
is
haven't
such a
seen
great
much
rock.
value.
This is your mana. It'll often in a commander game.
Do
give
you
all
do you
5
still play
colors, which is
Felwar Stone,
pretty
chat?
cool. And
Does Felwar Stone still make it in your into your commander decks? I feel like Felwar usually doesn't make my decks anymore. Every once in a while, but it's right on. It's not horrible. It's like right on the fence. It normally doesn't quite make it though, because there's enough other options. And I still play some I still like 3 mana rocks. So I still play some 3 mana rocks. So I usually play like Mind Stone is ahead of it. The Nomax hand size one is ahead of it. Signets, Arcane Signet, obviously ahead of it. There's enough other good 2 mana rocks that I usually miss it.
Especially the blue one.
yeah, and these have been asked for a lot. Like people have been asking for these for a while. And one of the things when we made the Commander reprint set is, hey, people are asking for this card for Commander. Let's put this here. Should we show them to him, Blake?
I think that's enough to do. Yes, let's show the first one. So, Pearl Medallion. Yes, you're getting all 5 of these. They come in regular and foil etched. These were first printed in Tempest and have been released really strong cards since then.
Right, I mean, a mana rock is great because it's a 2 mana card. You put it down.
That's actually huge.
Mana. The thing
That's
about
actually
these
huge.
that make them extra powerful is if you cast multiple spells in a turn,
medallions.
it'll reduce all of them.
Medallions are actually very expensive. These are cards that if you go, they've been reprinted once. They were in Commander 2014. But if you look at these cards, Jet Medallion 35, Pearl Medallion 32, Ruby Medallion 30, Sapphire 25, and then the green one, not that much because you don't need it in your green decks. But this is a really, really valuable strong cycle.
What you're drafting here.
So this is good for
Commander
Commander players, and it's good for bringing prices down.
Really, really exciting reprints. And I'm
very good choices. Very good choices. First time getting new art. Wait, does this mean first time foil?
Like I said, I started playing in Ice Age, but Tempest was kind of one of
this
my
might mean first time foil, right?
And I've put these in every commander deck
This means, is this the first foil printing? I think this is the first foil printing.
Yeah, really
Tempest didn't have
really
foils.
excited to
Commander
have those
Precons
back
don't
and
have
see what they can
foils.
do.
And I believe these are the first time these cards are appearing in foil,
Oh.
right? Because Tempest didn't
Yes,
have
thank you,
foils,
Gavin.
and the Commander decks didn't have foils.
Is Gavin
So-
watching our stream? I feel like Gavin must be watching our stream.
Awesome looking foil version right here.
Yep, absolutely.
Because Gavin just
All
said
right,
the
and,
exact same
I
thing.
do have the Pearl. I have some cards on this stack here. We can
Yeah, we'll
maybe
show them to you.
look at the Pearl a little bit later.
Yeah,
when
that's
we kinda go through these.
that's very good.
All right,
very
now,
good
of course,
choice.
this is Commander Masters. We need sweet legends.
Of course.
So let's talk about some of those sweet legends. We've seen that there are colorless cards in this set. There's a
Ooh,
colorless
Emrakul.
commander deck.
Emrakul, the
colorless
Promised End
legends that you can try to
would be a
build with?
huge
Well, we did
reprint
mention
for
earlier,
non-commander
zero
formats.
color legends also apply, and there are just a couple, maybe some iconic ones.
Come on,
this next one
Emrakul.
pairs well with Soul Ring. So
It does
so
pair well
if,
with
if
Soul
you
Ring.
happen to
They
draft
pair
Soul
well
Ring,
with-
I can recommend it. It's a little tricky to cast, but very
Good with
rewarding
Soul
when you
Ring.
do. Should we put it up
Heard
on
it
the
from-
screen here?
heard
Let's
it from
see
Gavin.
Kozilek the
Ooh,
Great
ooh,
Distortion.
ooh,
So you see
okay.
3 different versions there, the regular, foil,
Maybe we are getting new
and
Emrakul.
Kozilek
Maybe we
is
are.
one of the funky ones to get the borderless profile. I love
Kozilek the Great
I love just
Distortion. The new
the
Eldrazi
idea
got
of putting
really
a borderless-
expensive.
A profile.
Unfortunately,
of Kozilek, as
Kozilek
if
is
it's like, no,
the
this is my good
cheapest.
side.
Yeah. Also, it's so huge. Right?
at about-
Six of, like,
at
the-
about
the whole thing.
$13.
It's great. But yeah, this
But,
card is strong. It'll draw
hopefully
you a
we
ton
get
of cards.
Emrakul. Emrakul
And
would be
while,
huge.
You know, there's not.
Ooh, wow.
You can't just add
Oh,
waste
that
into
art
your
is-
deck in this format. There's plenty of colorless ramp. You've seen Soul Ring
Wow,
already.
that art is
There
really
was colorless
cool.
mana in the set. So
I don't even know what
you
it
can draft
is.
this
What
and
are we even
play it.
looking
You will
at?
have to
Is
play
that like a
monocolored
close-up
deck
of the
if you
side
do
of
that, because
Kozilek's
you probably
head?
have
That
this
looks like
plus
the
a monocolored
head.
Legend.
Right.
So it's a little trickier.
The
but it's really
perspective
fun
on
to try and
the-
make
the
happen
borderless
every
is-
now and then in draft you'll be able to pull
is
it off.
really
And of
neat.
course, this is also one of the premier colorless commanders for just
Colorless
decks in
foil
general,
edge
so it's a
frame
great
is
one to
fugly.
open. And if
I
you buy,
like
say,
it.
that colorless
I like
Precon I
it.
was talking about.
I don't know about
those
the
cards
edge
will go
foil, but
great.
oh, it's okay. So the theme is like
All right,
close-ups. Okay, I
next
gotcha.
up,
Close-up
we have
profiles.
Another monocolored legend and
Come on,
another
Emrakul.
oldie
Emrakul.
buddy goodie. Chainer, Dementia Master.
Oh,
Yeah, this is all
okay.
the way fresh from Torment. and
Okay.
kind of a style of card that
Chainer.
doesn't really do that much anymore. It pumps
Yep.
all nightmares
Okay.
on the battlefield.
Yeah,
which is kind of
sure.
unusual.
I
It
mean-
brings things back over and over, which is kind of rough gameplay. But hey,
So,
it's Commander
this
Masters.
is-
Yep.
You can handle this. And
This is the card that you don't want to open in your $20 booster pack or $60 booster pack, depending on what booster pack. Chainer's a cool card. Chainer reminds me of like early Commander. 15 years ago, Chainer was sweet, being able to reanimate with something from your command zone. At this point, though, no one plays Chainer, and they just reprinted it in Dominaria Masters, so it's super cheap. So this is kind of, I guess, a flop or a limited only card, essentially. Like it's cool. So here's the upside. Because of the neat rule of limited, where you can pair your monocolor legends together, the idea that you can have like Krenko and Chainer together or something, that's actually kind of neat, right? Like that's a really cool idea. On Amazon, draft boosters are around $400 for 24 packs. Yep.
the mono red goblin deck.
Krenko, do you like Krenko? Is Krenko a salty card? Is Krenko like? I'm curious of what people's opinions are. Krenko's the best Goblin commander, the most played Goblin commander. Is it? Do you like this card, or is it a card that you dislike because it's so strong? Kind of boring. It does kind of do one thing, right? Which is make a ridiculous amount of goblins.
Yeah, we'll talk about the draft archetypes in my video and article
So
tomorrow.
Krenko-
but it's really funny to combine them. In
I
that
don't
way,
think
'cause there's a
Krenko's
go wide
worth
deck,
much
for
of
example.
anything,
Krenko's
right?
awesome to go wide with.
I think
There's
it's
a sacrifice
a-
deck. Hey, it's awesome.
it's been
Sacrifice
reprinted-
too. So
well, it's around
finding those little
$5.
synergies
4 or
in
5
draft
bucks.
is really cool.
So
and
better
unique.
than
Kinda
Chainer,
only
but
works with
not
this
not
fun
super
little draft partner
valuable.
pairing rule.
It does get kind of repetitive, right?
All right.
Hey, what's up,
next
Daniel?
now,
How are you?
I know I've seen some comments about the
No-
profiles.
no
and people
pauper
are a
cards
little
yet.
Weirded out by them, but for my money, this
I
profile
like the profile
on this next
cards.
card is gorgeous.
I look forward to this. Seeing play.
Come on. So good.
Commander, modern,
Yeah,
you know,
modern?
it's going to be a hot
Wait,
one.
wait,
And
wait,
yeah,
wait.
I saw this and I was just struck immediately. It's a gorgeous piece.
Absolutely. So let's take a look at Azusa Lost But Seeking, and there is
Ooh.
that borderless profile
Wow,
on.
the profiles are
And
so
brand flavor text,
good.
too.
Yeah, absolutely.
pretty
So
nice.
talk about Azusa a little bit.
That's
Yeah,
just
so
like
this
such
card,
a
in addition to being a
clean,
modern
beautiful
all-star, is
magic
another
card.
like classic commander card to
So-
me, right? You
so
know what we
good.
like to doing?
So
playing
good.
extra land. So it's pretty easy.
I'm
to ramp
really
out
coming
and
around on the
with this if you have
profiles.
safe.
I'm I'm coming around on the
worlds in play. You can go.
Yeah, the profile's so good. I love that they left the background blank. It's just green. Like it really draws your focus to the character.
Profile version.
Yeah, the profile version is
another awesome
so
version of this card
nice.
you can pick up and play.
Yeah. Yeah, I think as people see more of these profile pictures, they'll pick up their favorites,
$9-10
that they like. I think the humanoid ones are
so it is worth mentioning that, like Double Masters, you do get 2 rares or mythics in a pack. So that means, considering packs are around $20, a little less than $20, the cutoff's around Azusa's price. Like, if you're getting 2 rares and you're spending $16 plus on a booster pack, you really want both of those to be at least like $8 to get your money back. Ideally, you're getting, a $50 card or whatever, but that's kind of the floor. Like, when your rares don't add up to the cost of the pack, that's when it starts to get a little bit depressing. So Azusa, I think, it's right on the fence, but because of the beauty of that profile card, I'm on board with the Azusa reprint.
All right, next up, another Commander favorite is Carador Ghost Chieftain. This one's been around for a bit.
Okay, Carador,
not the original, but an early on.
Carador, I haven't seen Carador in a long
this was
time.
the original set of Commander.
I feel like this is a flop reprint.
It's a really cool card.
So this better have an awesome profile or something, because
3-color card we're showing
Carador was in Double Masters. It was in Commander Legends.
Team up. There are, of course, some 2-color legends inside as well.
It's a dollar
card.
All
kinds of goodies. And so yes, you can draft.
At least I will say it's not a mythic. At least it's not a mythic.
And in Commander Draft, the more colors you add into your deck, the more powerful you can get, because you just have more cards in the draft pool you can play. So in general, if you see a 3-color card,
I mean, for limited,
really
I guess it's okay, kind of. Although even for limited, I don't know. I'm actually gonna call shenanigans on this one. If you want some sort of graveyard deck, couldn't you reprint like Nethroi, or aren't there other better options? Even if you wanted to have this graveyard legend for limited, does it have to be Carador? Isn't there a better Abzan Graveyard Legend that would be a better reprint that we could have in this slot instead? I kind of feel like, I don't know. This one I don't really like. I feel like no cool art, no value.
All right. Speaking of 3 colors and speaking of
Teneb, that'd be a good
portraits, let's look at Maelstrom Wanderer, a classic and strong card.
Yeah, coming in.
What do you think of these profiles? I feel like all these profiles are awesome.
This card is a blast. This is an all-time favorite commander. Right? In Teamer, this is one of the most popular commanders.
Maelstrom Wanderer used to be kind of expensive. I don't know if it's still expensive.
All your stuff having haste is just strong. And when you're ramping up in this format, this is one of those things you definitely want to ramp
Maelstrom Wanderer.
Yeah, it's just
all right. Maelstrom Wanderer is still about.
I see this in my first pack. I'm taking it.
$13 for the cheapest one. $13.15.
Commander Legends 1.
That's a win. That's a win. It's got a good profile. It's valuable enough that you're okay with opening it.
Basically built out.
The profile art's so good.
It's so good. Unlike Commander Masters.
Yeah, that's a good reprint.
The first cards I put into my original prototype for Commander Legends 1.
I will say this is another one that's at rare. This is another card that has been at Mythic in the past. It was in Mythic in Eternal Masters. Last time they reprinted this in a Master set, it was a Mythic. So they could have put this in a Mythic, and it would have been hard for anyone to complain about. So the fact that it's getting dropped down to rare, that's good news. That's good news. The fact that it's got knocked down to rare that's some upside for everyone. And it's a fun card.
So I didn't do this preview plan.
Yeah, the profiles are really sweet.
Who's doing it these days?
Trickjar.
Shout out to Trick.
But I still get to ask for things, and so I asked for some blue cards. There were some other cards in here. One of the cards in this section is a personal favorite of mine. It's not going to blow anyone's socks off.
Let's see the spice.
Let's
see the spice.
Because it's blue and it does a thing.
Burning Bush.
The other cards are
welcome to the fishbowl. Thank you so much.
One of them is not blue, but isn't like an honorary blue
card. Come on, show us the spice, Blake. Show us that spice, Gavin.
Let's take a look, first of all, at land tax.
Woo, what a reprint. All the way from the early days of Magic. This card has been played for ages.
I mean, land taxes. That's a good one. That's a good one. Land tax. It wasn't Double Masters. Still $30 plus.
The extra lands you're getting into your hand, you can just convert them into other resources.
$35-40.
Cards.
That's a hit. That's a hit. That's a hit. It's got not new art, right? This art is existing art, but
for one white mana, it's going to draw you at.
That's a card that I wish was cheaper, because I feel like this was a card that almost any mono white commander deck could use, but it's hard to actually play just because who wants to spend $40 on a land tax? So hopefully this drops the price. Although being at Mythic, we'll see. We'll see how much it drops.
9 lands if you were in your deck. You're drawing.
But yeah, that is a good reprint for sure.
Where I've gotten to the point with land tax where it's just like, oh, there's nothing. There's literally nothing else to.
I got all my every.
We need Smothering Tithe. We need the free spell cycle. We need
free
spell
back
cycle.
then,
Dock sides. Like if we're not gonna ban those cards, reprint them, please, WotC.
Legends, yeah, Legends, ladies and gentlemen.
Those are ones I'm looking out for.
Very powerful Magic.
Yeah, this
right.
is like it's perfect. Iconic, expensive, fun.
It's been a while.
Land tax is exactly the kind of card we want.
I mean, talk about a commander card. I mean, that card has been played in Commander since pre-Commander decks. It's truly a classic Commander card, and really sweet to have it back here.
All right.
Absolutely. All right.
Show us
Next
some
up
spice.
is the personal favorite for mine. I'm like caveating
Mulldrifter.
I love this
It's always
card.
Mulldrifter
I
with
lobbied
Blake.
for it to be on this list because I like talking about evacuation. Evacuation, it just does something that like no other card does. Yeah, sure.
Okay, that's an interesting one. Do you play evacuation? Where does evacuation rank in the blue removal suite of your decks? Of course, it's at its most valuable when you're playing mono blue, so you don't have access to other colors for sweepers. I feel like I never play evacuation. Like literally never, ever, ever. Like maybe never, ever, ever is not true, but like very rarely do I play evacuation. It's not a bad card. It's currently about $4. So not a expensive reprint. It's not a bad commander card. It is worse than Cyclonic Rift. Oh, yeah, if you want to annoy everyone and loop it with Archaeomancer, that does get the job done.
This card is no Cyclonic Rift. Yeah, that is not. I see that. It's not what I'm trying to say here.
Where?
Just saying. It's
hopefully there is Cyclonic Rift. River's Rebuke is a fun one. I like that River's Rebuke gets one player.
Also elegant is our final preview card, and this is where I get to talk about Canadian Highlander because this card is pointed. But it was originally designed for Commander, and I believe you originally designed this.
That's right. I designed this card all the way back in Battle Bond. Sort of so we had an Imperial Recruiter,
Academy,
Recruiter of the Guard, and I was like, let's keep this fun little super cycle going, and let's make the blue one. So let's give you Spellseeker.
Spellseeker.
And we've got fantastic new borderless art there on the right.
The new art's
and this card, yes, he's playing.
I like the new art better.
Matter of places.
Wow.
Certainly in Commander, Canadian Highlander. Even
honestly, I forgot about this card. Spellseeker has actually kind of crept up to being a pretty expensive card. It is a 25. I thought this was kind of, I just remember these prices, like it being just above bulk, but it is just kind of crept up and up to, it was at 1.40, but now it's still $25. So that's value-wise, that's a win. It is upshifted to Mythic, but still, so $25, that's more than the cost of the pack, so we'll take it.
Battle cruisering Magic into each other, let's play big creatures, smash.
Here's how I'm looking at it. So you get 2 rares or mythics in a pack. I want my 2 rares to at least equal the pack value. So I want my rares to be at least $8. With mythics, I want my mythic to actually pay for the entire pack. Like, my mythic, I want it to be enough that if my other rare is a bulk rare worth nothing, I get the roll and I get a chainer. If I get lucky enough to open the mythic, I want that mythic to be worth more than the pack. And Spellseeker does that. Even at mythic, like, it does do that.
Twist on this card.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so that does it for preview cards, but we have some time left. And we have Gavin Verhey here. So if you have questions about the set, about working on any of the cards, we've got some physical examples here.
If
go ahead
that's
and put them
all,
in chat. It'll help if you tag @Magic.
So if that's all the previews, and they're just gonna answer questions.
There are more previews.
I don't know if we'll watch the rest of it.
And the next 2 weeks, Commander decks are going to be next week, including on this very.
So what do you think? What do you think now that we've seen this? We did talk about Anthology a little bit. That was the first thing we talked about on the stream. I'm a little disappointed that there were not more spoilers. Like, they didn't really show off much, right? They showed off some commons. They showed off some legends. Some were good and some are bad. And then some spice, which... okay, like, yeah, some upshifts. Like, fine. It was definitely fine. The medallions are probably the biggest hit so far. I don't know if I can... do we have this up on the website yet? We should have this up on the website. Commander Masters. So the biggest hit so far, The medallions are nice. Getting those back is huge. Spellseeker, high value, even at Mythic. Maelstrom Wanderer, that's another one. Downshifted to rare is nice. Land tax, obviously. More reprints like that. That's exactly what we want. Kozilek's okay. I was hoping for new Emrakul more than Kozilek. Chainer, straight up a dud. I will say, I'm kind of blown away by the profile cards. Like, Azusa is maybe the best one we've seen so far, but really the profile cards in general, the ones that we've seen, even like Maelstrom Wanderer, they all look really, really good. So that's nice. So where are you at? Now that we've seen this first sneak peek at of the set.
Sacrifice. So once again, go wide or sacrifice your tokens, whatever.
I mean, and remember too, we've seen 10 cards out of 250 or something. Hopefully we get some more high value stuff. A little disappointed. I think it's so whether or not it's going to get to the point where it's worth it. So here's the thing. It's going to be tough to buy boxes. Even just seeing the stuff that they've shown off today, there's reprints I'm really excited for. The medallions are great. Spellseeker's fine. Maelstrom Wanderer, land tax. The problem is there's also some duds, and it's so hard. And there's no way around this, I guess, because of limited, and you got to have bad cards so people know what a good card is. But it's going to be tough to buy a pack for 15 or 20 bucks, knowing that there's a pretty good chance you get a Chainer, a 50-cent rare, or a Corridor, a 50-cent rare. That's going to make it hard to buy the sealed product, I think. I think the reprints are looking good. I would rather let someone else open them and pick up the singles that I need for my decks, rather than being the person to open the boxes based on what we've seen so far, especially at the current prices, which are pretty high. Nickendo, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Thank you. And Sad News Bears, welcome you to the Fishbowl as well for the 42nd month. Big soup cheer for you. Thank you. Anyway, that's our spoilers for today. So there will be spoilers for the next 2 weeks, actually. I believe that this week is going to be all main set stuff, and then next week is the Commander precons. There will be spoiler coverage, actually. That's next on my list for the day. I'm going to be doing a spoiler video for the YouTubes. I think the plan's going to be that I'm going to do the main set spoilers on the main channel, and then Tomer's going to do the Ooh, does Cool Stuff have spoilers up? Ooh, okay. Let's take a peek at what we got from Cool Stuff Inc. All right, Commander Masters previews Walk the Dinosaur, Wayward Swordtooth, Regal Behemoth. Okay. Wait, are those the spoilers? Oh, those are the spoilers. Wayward Swordtooth, Regal Behemoth. Is Regal Behemoth worth anything? Wayward Swordtooth is, I don't believe, worth much. Wow, that's a $10 rare? Huh? When did that happen? Okay, just kidding. People love dinosaurs. They're all worth $1 million, apparently. I did not realize that. Okay, that's actually an expensive card. What about Regal Behemoth? That's also okay. Well, those are actually pretty good reprints then. Like $10 rares, we'll take it. That's a hit. I mean, and the other thing, as you're seeing these spoilers, remember too that we're going back to Ixalan this fall. So one thing Wizards has been doing more and more of is having their supplemental sets tying with the main sets. So as you're seeing the themes in this set, keep that in mind, that stuff like this, Wayward Swordtooth or Regal Behemoth, maybe right now you're like, oh, dinosaurs, what am I going to do with those? Well, give it another couple months when we go back to Ixalan, and you're probably going to have a ton of new dinosaur legends that you're going to want to be putting these in. So be thinking about that too, because Wizards has really improved at that over the last couple of years. Oh, hey, what's up, Mega Magic Carp? Good to see you. Hey, happy birthday, Mega Magic Carp. Congratulations on the big 2-6. Oh, anyway, there's no Colossal Dreadmaw, is there? I haven't seen Colossal Dreadmaw. I mean, I could see them putting it in for the memes. There's always a Colossal Dreadmaw. Anyway, everyone, hey, thank you, Remote Twitch. You're coming in right at the right at the end of the stream because I got to go make a spoiler video for YouTube. However, I will ship you off to someone who plays some good Magic. I think maybe we should raid Spike today. Spike's playing some Modern. Looks like he's playing Mono Black in Modern. So on that note, everyone, I think that brings us to the end. So I'm gonna scurry off, go make a spoiler video for YouTube talking about this set. Bring back Seth Mage. What did I miss? Hey, Cat Cam fan, you missed some Mono Black Devotion. So what did we learn today? So we saw Commander Masters. Check out more on the YouTube shortly as I'll do a spoiler video. We watched the preview stream. The set, the profile cards look so good. We also learned that if you want to play some Magic in Historic, check out Mono Black Devotion with the One Ring in Orcish Bowmasters, because we went 3-0-6-0, kind of crushed people, got some really cool wins. The deck is actually sweet. But on that note, everyone, that brings us to the end of our stream for today. The good news is we got another stream on Thursday is the next stream this week. In the meantime, tons of stuff coming up on the YouTube channel. So some reminders on the way out the door. Replay YouTube, check that out for the old streams. Normal YouTube, spoiler videos, gonna be out in a couple hours, so check that out, along with all the normal gameplay content. That's all happening as well. One more shout out to our sponsor, Card Kingdom. If you need some magical cards, you can get them over at cardkingdom.com/MTG Goldfish. And most importantly, thank you to each and every one of you. You all are amazing and awesome, and I love you so much. Check out the YouTube for the spoiler videos, and yeah, have a great Wednesday, and I'll see you Thursday for some more fun streaming. So until then, everyone, be good, and I will talk to you soon.